destination. Let's get things on the road. We have a midnight flight coming on up in about 10 minutes. Let's see if we can make some time. Turn on the electrical systems and contact ground. We need some fuel.
Cedar Rapids ground. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er. Could you please send a fuel truck?
Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er. A fuel truck is on the road.
It may have refueled us while we were sitting and waiting, but I know we need one. We completed the last flight from Washington, Iowa, and we are smack dab out. Hey, I think it's my good friend the fuel truck. Hello, sir. Here to top me off, mate. I don't know how the fuel truck works. I sure hope he just does it for me. He looks like he's going rogue. Fuel truck, don't do it. Ah, no. Well, I guess he fueled us up. Request fuel supply end. Please stop that. Let's request him to end. We're about
Cedar Rapids
topped
ground.
up.
Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er. I am done with fuel services.
Alright, get out of here, you menace. Oh, goodness gracious. So canonically, we would be dead. That would be it, unfortunately. Passed on by the fuel truck, it would seem. Rough end. Let's keep things going. We can ignore this goober, this goofball. Oh man, here he comes again. Ground service, back to clearance. Ground service, back to clearance. Is it just ground service? That's the only one who's here. Let's go ahead and get the boot up out of the way. Please, fuel truck. Just get out of here, man. We need to contact the tower to get a runway to take off from. That's our problem. And if the tower is shut down, well, we are going to have to escape this here menace. Nice, alright, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here while we can. Give her some throttle. Give it a lot of throttle. Oh, park and brake. cut back on the throttle a bit. There it goes, man. Alright, hopefully we can get through. Last chance, let's go. Tower, you here? Nice, dude. Nice, nice. So yeah, first off, before we get too gung-ho, we need to get the ATIS to tune our altimeter.
Cedar Rapids Airport information, Mike. 0500 Zulu. Wind tree 1 at 8. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature -6. Dew point -10. Altimeter tree 02 tree. ILS runway 27 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 1. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have, Mike.
So I'm gonna be departing, just to be sure, south.
Cedar Rapids Airport information November 0500 Zulu. Wind tree 1 at 8. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature -6.
Wind tree
Dew point
1. That means I'm gonna want to depart out of
Altimeter
runway.
tree 02 tree.
30.
ILS runway 27 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 1. VFR aircraft say direction.
Cedar Rapids ground. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er, ready to taxi. Departure to the south with November.
Let's see if we can make it in time, shall we? We have a southern
Snoot
departure
Alpha,
plan.
Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er. Taxi to and hold short of runway tree 1 using taxiway Alpha 8 Alpha Alpha 10 cross runway 27 Charlie. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Acknowledge that.
Taxiing. Hold short runway tree 1 via taxiway Echo 2 Echo Alpha. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er.
My assumption is I'm going to take a left here and go. We don't have the markers for the points, I believe. So let's see how accurately I can. Slow things down. We're just taxiing right now. It doesn't matter even if we run a little late. Yeah, if anything, we do need to immediately slow our roll. Get the lights going. Just got absolutely destroyed by a truck. Turn on the transponder. Big trouble if you don't got that beacon on. No bacon. Let's tune over to the shower. Taxi to and hold short of runway 31 using taxiway. Contact the tower when ready. Hold short. Probably shouldn't push till I'm absolutely sure where I'm going. Runway tree 1 will be the opposite of 1 tree. Zoom in just to be sure. That's right. So if I just take a right here, that's where they want me to go, I'm sure. Let's do it. It is now midnight. We're going to be, unfortunately, passengers, we're going to be running a tad late for our departure. But thank you for flying Snoot Airlines anyways. We're expecting an overall smooth flight tonight, and we should be handing out refreshments by the time we hit Iowa City. So go ahead and taxi along this beautiful runway here. It was the correct way they wanted us to taxi, fortunately. So go ahead and take this pathway all the way down. If anybody wants, we're handing out peppermints. Peppermints. This flight is not sponsored by Pepsi. Let's slow it down. The taxiing. We don't want to get too crazy, do we? Give or take above 1,000 RPMs. That's where we're trying to sit. Get back to that yellow line. Stick to that thing like our pilot's license depends on it, shall we? What did Big Man say? Taxi to and hold short of runway 31. I gotcha. Okay. We are now at the hold short. This is our last chance to sort of make sure everything's good to go. Get me a sip of some of the drink. Ah. Taxi lights off. Landing lights on. Turn the pitot heat on. We'll adjust that pitch trim. It's important we have... I find it nice to go at just zero trim, right below the takeoff line. We also want flaps. Raise up the flaps. So we'll go ahead and plot it. We are heading south. To Washington, Iowa Municipal Airport. Iowa City. Add that to the waypoint. We're gonna move from Iowa City to KAWG. Iowa Municipal, Washington, Iowa Municipal. Add that to the flight plan. That is arrival. Our flight plan is now set up. Hey, 12:05, 5 minutes late. Let's get permission to get on that runway.
Cedar Rapids Tower. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er at runway. Tree 1 ready for departure. Departure to the south.
Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er. Altimeter Tree 026 south departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway Tree 1.
Tree 026. 26. Cleared for runway. Thank you, tower.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 1. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er tree 9er.
Alpha Tree Niner. So, we have been cleared. Let's get on that runway. We don't want to keep these fine gents waiting. Give it some throttle. That'll get us moving. Not too much throttle, though. We're not trying to spaz on out here. Let's get everything nice and under control now. Hey, we have a friend. So, alright. Right here, these numbers, that's where we want to get lined up. There it is. Alright, let's go ahead and go. Yep, we're clear to go. We don't need contact. Let's slowly lean on that throttle. Those red lights down there is where we need to have at least 65 knots of speed. Keep giving it some throttle. Keep giving it some throttle. More, more, more. Don't be scared. Alright, rotation speed. Let's pull back on the nose. Not too much, though. While we do this, we'll pull back on the trim. We have positive rate achieved. Getting kind of blown off course by the winds here. We have a southern departure, though, so everything's good.
Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er tree 9er. Continue for south departure.
Continue for a southern departure, Snoot Alpha.
Cedar Rapids Tower. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er tree 9er. Continue for south departure.
So we're going to go ahead and continue to gain altitude until we reach probably about 2,200 feet. That's a pretty good cruise altitude for this thing. We're going to maintain our southern heading here. We're going to want to go quite hard south, actually. So we're about to hit target altitude, so we'll want to bring the trim down a little bit, and we can go ahead and slow up on the throttle. Out to about 70-80% throttle. 25,000 RPMs over there. We're at target altitude and gaining, so adjust the trim. One tick down, maybe two ticks down.
Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er tree 9er. Leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Roger that.
Cedar Rapids Tower. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er tree 9er. Frequency change.
So now we're in the Class C airspace surrounding Cedar Rapids. Let's maintain a southern heading and see if we can get to Iowa City. So we need to get on a southern heading here. This is very strange because on our map it shows us moving more easterly. I would trust our map. I need to take a straight right. I would need to go to the west by this map's standards. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's transition a little bit. As long as we don't dip below 2,200, I'm not too worried. We'll head towards Point Nooper. We're actually, even though it looks like we're losing altitude, we're sort of gaining it. So let's adjust our trim. We'll even pull back a little more on the throttle. You know what? Let's keep it at about at. Let's give it more throttle. More throttle. Drop the trim. No need to be lazy. Keep it under 3,000. We don't need to get into the leaning mixture business. That ain't who I am, man. It's always rough. You think you're moving on the EFB and then you just grab the yoke and kill everybody. So I suppose I'll stay on this heading until Point Morse and then adjust and head hard due west. Maintain heading at 24 degrees. We're already at 3,000 altitude. We cannot go any higher. Bring that trim down, bring that trim down. Quit being lazy. Bring the trim down. Pull throttle back. So, alright, looks like we're right about at Morse. Time to adjust our heading. 10-degree turn. This should be our direction. Looks like we can see it there off in the distance. Iowa Municipal. Keep an eye on that altimeter. We're about to level off, so let's start adding some trim. We've picked up quite a bit of speed, so if anything, we want to reel back that throttle a little bit. Class Charlie airspace has a speed limit of 200 knots, so even at 120 we're not worried. But we do want to level off here at 2,200 feet. Let's contact Iowa Municipal.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha Niner Tree Niner. 6 miles north. Overflying the airport from north to south at 2,000. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
And if we look way off in the distance over the horizon, careful with that altimeter we're dropping, you should be able to see Washington, our destination, way off in the distance. The winds are really giving us a hard blowing, as they used to say back in my day. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit more throttle power. Tip that trim on up. We're overflying the greater Iowa City metropolis. There are some schools over there to the left. Ah, here we are. Iowa City. Again, from here it is a rather straightforward trip to Washington, Iowa. Let's see if things fare so well. As we overfly, we're going to want to announce our position once more. Looks like as we speak, there is a plane out here. Readying up to launch. Let's give our position away so he isn't worried
Kilo
about
India
us.
Oscar Whiskey traffic. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er. 2 miles northeast. Overflying the airport from northeast to southwest at 1800. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
I wonder where he is. I wonder if we can see him. Keep an eye on that altimeter. As long as we don't go below 2,200, we should be fine. He's gonna be a ways back there if he is. He's most likely on the ground. I believe that location is the hospital. The hospitals and clinics of Iowa City. Go ahead and level off here. Just fly ILS for a while. Go ahead and jump back up here. Alright, back there is Iowa City Municipal, which means we need to do directly south in real life. Let's see, where are we located? Looks like our heading is correct, even though it says we're going west. We just need to believe and maintain this heading. I suppose it's a little easy to get lost, isn't it? You just gotta trust. So, unless I'm mistaken, we should be approaching the town of Riverside soon. Zooming in, zooming in. Iowa City, okay. Let's go ahead and hit hard right. Just to be sure we know where we're at. We're gonna announce our position just to see where we're at.
Kilo India Oscar Whiskey traffic.
6 miles
Snoot Alpha
south.
Sierra Alpha Niner Tree Niner, 6 miles south, overflying the airport from south to north at 1100. Kilo India Oscar Whiskey.
My plans are not to overfly the airport, I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to stay on this heading here to the south. Let's go ahead and gain some altitude so we can see what we're looking at from above. We're starting to get kind of low anyways. We're only about 500-600 feet above ground right now. There's really no need to be this low. That means we definitely want to give it some throttle. The Cessna does not like to gain altitude without a lot of throttle. If anything, if you're gaining altitude effectively in a Cessna, you may want to just go full throttle. Tip that nose up. We'll stay gaining at about a 10-degree angle. Let's again get back up to about 3,000 feet. It's good to not get lazy. We were cruising at about 500-600 feet above the ground. We're now approaching our original cruise altitude. Planter field. We should be looking at Washington, Iowa, right there in the distance, all lit up and sparkling. So we're going to go ahead and cut the altitude gain. We have our heading correct again. We're heading accordingly to the west, apparently. The beautiful infrastructure of Iowa, ladies and gentlemen. The entire state looks like this. It's quite nice. They call it flyover country because it's so pleasant to fly over. Look at that. Season's greetings, everyone. So we're going to adjust and maintain a heading at 30. We're gaining altitude, so we're going to level off if at all possible by ditching some trim. The Cessna is, of course, a game of adjusting that trim wheel. We're still gaining. Still, drop that trim, drop that trim. Drop some throttle, why not? Drop us down to about 70%. It's all about feeling the aircraft. This is like a cat lad. It's how you fly her. She purrs the right way. So let's go ahead and contact What are we looking at down there? That right there is the casino, which means we're passing over right now Riverside, Iowa. I find Riverside to be the perfect halfway point between Washington. Oh, that's not the casino, that's Highland. That means we're a lot closer. So at this point, we definitely need to contact. So let's get the ATIS. We're going to contact Washington Municipal. Get the weather, get the ATIS, see what the winds is like.
Kilo Alpha, Whiskey Golf, automated weather observation.
Wind 341.
0600 Zulu. Wind 341 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 60.
Altimeter 3036. So that means we want the wind at our backs. So if the wind is coming out of 341, we would like to land at runway 10 or 12. 13. This is going to be a full stop landing, of course.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Alpha Sierra Alpha 9er Tree 9er, 8 miles northeast, 2500, inbound to land, runway 1 tree, Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Runway 1 tree is going to be looking this direction. This is a pretty good path right here, because when we intercept, that's pretty much how we want to intercept. We want to intercept, get on the downwind, come here into base, and then fly down onto final. Where are we? Let's adjust heading. We'll also want to start slowing things down. We're finally about to land. Oh my goodness. We're having an engine malfunction. Let's keep calm. See if we can reboot it. Prime. Want to stay gliding. Cut the throttles. Full engine malfunction. Let's see how far we can get gliding, gents. It is of vital importance that we do find somewhere to put her down. Keep the nose pointed up, see how long we can keep it in flight. We're losing a lot of airspeed here. We're definitely not going to make it. Let's go ahead and start eyeing these fields. Can we get some lights on? We're gonna have to start looking for somewhere to set it down. Luckily, this is Iowa. A lot of this land is fields. Just a little nervous of taking it straight down into the dark. It looks like we do got below us. Alright, let's drop some flaps. We're gonna be doing the landing in this street. Oh, there's cars and everything. Goodness gracious. We're definitely gonna have to abandon going in the street. Second degrees of flaps. Let's see. Trees. We got trees. The emergency landing was a success. Thank goodness. Woo! Absolutely terrifying, but we managed to come down in a field about a quarter-mile away. Let's see if we can do any system diagnostics here on what happened. We have plenty of fuel. There's a chance that the engine may have froze. Let's turn that pitot heat off. Set everything back to default. Got the fuel valve. Pull out that mixture. Let's lift the flaps. Turn that cabin lighting on for sure. Pitot heat is off. The nav light's on. Strobe's on. The beacon's on. Battery and alternator has been turned on. I know that most of the other Cessnas do have the emergency indicator. I don't know where it is in this Cessna. Anyways, let's see if we're able to get it booted up. Give it some mixture. Give it some mixture. Throttle that, give or take 25%. That's good. Pitch trim is fine. Fuel valve. Alright, she definitely didn't want to turn over there. Give it some full mixture. Pull it on out. Let's prime it and see what happens. Let's see if we can quickly She's shot, lads. Hey, but it's okay. We'll put the parking brake on. Cut the mixture. Cut the throttle. You guys stay here with the plane, okay? I'll be right back. It's cold out here. It's about 26 degrees. So, let's see how long this is going to take. 12:35. We need to find some help. First and foremost, is anybody injured? I'm not injured, thank goodness. Overall, this was a fantastic place to land the plane. Whew. Thank goodness everybody's okay. Our first emergency landing. Can you believe it? This is as fast as we can run. It is a very cold one out here. I actually live in Washington, Iowa. So let's see if we can find a house that I recognize. I don't recognize this house. And in fact, I would be a little bit nervous walking up to a random house in Washington, Iowa. In the country of Iowa, anyways. However, I would be very quick to knock on one of these doors and see if we could get any help at all. Contact the police, contact the local authorities. Which direction is it to town, please? Oh, no cheating. I can't use the cheating. I have to navigate through my knowledge of the waymarks. Well, there's a car over there. I would also very much want to hail him down. There is our path. So, we're gonna want to go ahead and sprint down this road. It is cold. I am quickly freezing. It has been 3 minutes out here in this freezing cold. 26 degrees. It's not like a tundra cold. We are in quick danger, though. My goal is I would love to just go straight to my house. But I think it's a lot quicker to the airplane. Yep. You just gotta trust in the EFB. It doesn't know where we're at, but it knows where the airplane was at. Unfortunately, I did quick cheat with the R3. So we do know that this direction is the direction of Washington. Because I'm a big loser cheater. So let's see how long it takes us to make it to somewhere safe. It has already been about 5 minutes in the cold. We need to get to the airport so we can haul our plane back. The loss of that Cessna is massive. I'm sure there's not any serious damage on it, but we need to get the engine looked at. I don't know what exactly happened, but that engine going out was terrifying. In truth, I probably just flooded that there engine. You can't give it that much throttle. God damn it, I kept telling you to throttle slow. Man, this would be just awful. I would have to run over here from the street so I can jump to the top of this little small hill and see if in the distance the airport. It is not a good idea to just trek through lands like this here in Washington. It would not be feasible, rather. If this did happen, we would be bound to this road. Fortunately, we can see down the road that there is something. Which means I do believe we are approaching the outskirts of Washington. Washington, as they say here, because everybody has dialect. It has now been 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Real life temperature, let's see here. Real life temperature is 26 degrees. Here's my character. It definitely would not be comfortable. I think she'd be able to survive. She'd be having a rough time in a t-shirt. I'd be having a rough time in a t-shirt, let me tell you that. But as long as nobody sustained any injuries on that emergency landing, that was the most important thing. We're just gonna stay slowly jogging. In the future, I actually have a run similar to this planned to show the accuracy at ground level of Microsoft Flight Sim versus real life in like my own town. Because again, I live here. There we go. Fortunately, if we look, that should be... I sincerely, sincerely hope that's the airport. This road would not be pleasant at night. It is not lit up like it is in this game. The airport road is a terrifying road. It's very dark and it's a gravel road. So, while it would be tempting to just cut across the grass and run on over there, that's just not how it would really work. You might fall into a giant pit. You might get stepped on by a aminal. You might fall into some nasty water. Some water. We would be bound to the road. It's freezing for an extra like 10 minutes. It's already 12:43 in real time. We got lost at 12:30. We didn't get lost. We know exactly where we are. We're just assuming that our attempts to contact those people that we crashed our plane in the fields of, we're assuming that our knocking on the door didn't yield an answer. I hope you guys are doing okay there in the plane. Let me tell you, this is awful. But I think we're all gonna make it. We're all gonna make it to live to see another day. And you know what? We're gonna go flying again tomorrow. My boss is not gonna be happy about this, but he's got me scheduled for another flight. Oh, golly. I do a bit of running in real life, and let me tell you, it'd be very tempting to want to really put the gas on here to just get there quick, but it wouldn't be smart because I have a lot more running to do. It's been tempting to go and ask around at the local airport and be like, hey, how about a tour? But it's such a small thing that I really think that would just get in the way of their operations. So we'll keep jogging on this direction. Direction. Oh, we got one. We got one. Here it is. Hey, brother. Hey, partner. Howdy, man. Hey. Hey, brother. Oh, my goodness. Hello. So, crazy over there just went and plowed through us. But we got someone else. Hey, man. Hey. Please. Hey, hello. In real life, I definitely think they would have at least slowed down and listened. We could at least be like, yo, we just had a plane crash. Let's see, what are we looking at here? For some reason, I don't feel like this is the airfield. Now I am starting to get a little scared. Absolutely terrifying. It is. It's just some random house. There it is. At this point, my assumption is we would have been able to get one of these guys to call the cops. But if not, it is a solid 3 miles that way to the left. Followed by Washington. The town itself is 5 miles to our left. What would our walk down this long gravel road have yielded? Probably not a lot. Oh, we were so close too. It is cool to know that the game does have engine failures and issues like that. I probably was flying irresponsibly with too much engine power or too little engine power. I hadn't leaned correctly. I had ran the plane too hard and too heavily. The terrifying stillness of an Iowa country road in the winter. Again, we're really hoping that the police would have been contacted at this point. Otherwise, our character may be in very real danger at this point of getting minor frostbite in the fingies. We can see Washington Municipal over. Oh! See, we actually would have been absolutely screwed. Washington is in that direction. We're suffering together, you and me. Oh my god. The absolute terrifying reality of having to go on a road like this. Basically a trail. Out in the Iowa countryside. It's fortunate there's really not anything that crazy or dangerous. We got like deer. There is mountain lions. Jogging and we're jogging and we're jogging. Please believe in me. I'll get help. make sure to give me a 5-star review on Uber flights. We just got we should be getting a new aircraft soon, so... Scraw, scraw. Wow, look at that. As soon as we crash our plane, everybody starts flying. We have 2 friends here. D.W. Brown flying the... Ooh, he's flying the FA-18 Super Hornet. He's at 34,000 feet. He's 103 miles away. Hey, 59, 40, 44, 51. How we doing, Snoot? I'm doing pretty good, man. We just survived an emergency engine out landing in a field. It's about 26 degrees out here, and you know what? I am freezing, but town's about 3 miles that way. It's looking like we're gonna be fine. How are you doing, brother? I hope you're having a good one tonight, my friend. We got some friends flying with us too. We have SBC Russell over here flying the A330. It's the Airbus. Both of these guys are 100 miles out. They're both at about 30,000 feet, give or take. My prime concern at this point would be getting back to a conventional road as soon as I see these houses up here. A trail like this at night is just, for me, not doable at all. I wouldn't even go on a paved trail at night. The chances of the wildlife encounters are too real. Even the terrain can be unforgiving. It wouldn't be good to fall and sprain your ankles out here. But again, even something as simple as just going from here to there might not be as easy as just going from here to there. Let's go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and chance it. In real life, these would be fields. Most likely, this is a field. And it'd be fortunate, it would be not up right now because it's winter. But it's still rather rough to walk through those cornfields. Most likely it would be corn. A lot of the farmers here are doing corn this year. And it looks like we've stumbled upon a housing development outside of Washington, Iowa. Again, I would be knocking on doors until we were able to get some help. At this point, how long have we been outside for? It has been a solid 25 minutes. 26 degrees, that's slightly below freezing. I do think at this stage, damage to the digits may be possible. Snoot thesis video coming soon. Can I survive without damage in the 26-degree weather for 30 minutes? This down here would be one of the main roads. I believe this is what we call the airport road. This links between 2 towns, Washington and Brighton. Or a Coppic, pardon me. A town called Coppic. Having a really rough time, getting sort of anxious, thinking about what my boss is going to say and if I might get fired. You all saw it. That engine failure was not my fault. But again, how fascinating and fun that, you know, Flight Sim does have engine wear and the like, huh? There we go. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of cutting. Save us some time. One of our friends took off, but it looks like one of them is still here. That's our friend flying the Airbus A330. I can hardly even handle the Cessna, but I can only imagine using one of those fly-by-wires. That would be grand. How glorious would that be? Soon, the Piper. They're gonna the insurance is gonna get back to our company, and we're gonna invest into a Piper. Still a solid 3 miles out. How absolutely demoralizing. And these are nautical miles, mind you, so I may be more like 4.5 to 5 miles out. Indeed, we're gonna get to the town of Washington before we get to the airfield. Looks like our friend over there is landing, or flying away. Oh, he's definitely not landing. He's still at 30,000 feet. He's just flying away. Let's look at the stars on this night that I'm dying. In the freezing cold, bleeding out. I don't know any constellations. I'm sure these are real accurate constellations though. At least I would hope they are. Alright, let's keep hopelessly lost. Let's keep running. Keep on jogging. We'll make it there eventually. We just gotta believe, right? It's been 30 minutes now, by the way. We're trying to not sustain any lasting damage. At this point, I still feel comfortable arguing that we haven't died. At least I know the viewer hasn't. Y'all been staying comfortable inside that airplane. Y'all could be bundled up all warm in your clothesies. I'm out here in the whipping, freezing cold and wind. It is unseasonably warm. Not only is it unseasonably warm, it's the warmest it's ever been on record for our area right now, currently, for this time of year. So that's something I got going in my favor. Again, 26 degrees is very cold, but it's only a little bit below. We lost contact with our friend over there. Looks like it's because he's more than 100 miles out. Anyways, again, it's more than feasible to me. It's certainly not cold enough to kill us. Hell, I could stand out in 26 degree weather for an hour and not die, but I definitely might be getting frostbite, right? I'm sure we can reach a middle ground. Time to go and reenact this plane crash and see how long it takes me to get back to society. Do it for the TikTok fame, right? I probably should unbind the cheat button. It's so nice to have the cheat button just to be like, oh, what's this? What's this? But it's cheating, isn't it? Isn't it? It sort of takes away all the fun. Even if you do accidentally click it, like what happened to me. You accidentally click it once, and then it's like, what's the point? I can just click it whenever I want. Oh, I already seen it. Shucks, I already done seen it once. See, that's the problem here in Iowa with the Iowa's farmers. We don't understand all that there buck stuff. What we understand is how a motor works and how a tractor works. And you know what, brother? We care about our fields around these parts. So that's why we do it. We make a struggle. Crazy road here. Yeah, let me tell you, I live here in real life. It looks exactly like this. Exactly like this. Just in the middle of the road. Everyone in town hates this road. No disrespect to the hard-working pilots of Iowa, because that's all just a this is called a satirical skit, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely demoralizing. In real life, you wouldn't have those numbers to see, but we can take a peek and see that we're still 3 nautical miles out. This would not be a quick run. It really would be about, give or take, this speed, if you're lucky. For me to immediately after a plane crash run 5 miles, I would not be putting down very good time. Especially disoriented. That's the biggest thing. But, right, we're meeting in the middle. I did flag down like 5 cars and I knocked on like 6 doors. Around these parts, that definitely would get some attention because we're neighborly folks. Hey, partner. Howdy, partner. We're neighborly folks around here. We look out for our own. It's a smaller town here. We got a population of about 7 to 10,000 or so. It was growing for a while, but then it started falling. I think we might be sitting more realistically at about 12,000. Oh, yeah. Hey, partner. Hey, brother. Partner. Banished to the Shadow Realm. My character is also adorable. She would have no hard time getting invited into the warm confines of the cabin of a car. Even just for momentary warmth. Please, I'm freezing out here, friends. Just let me in for just 1 second, please. Let's go, let's go. We just gotta believe. We just gotta believe. We're 2.5 miles out from Washington Municipal. In real life, though, I would not be able to suss that out as the... Oh, yeah, I would. Because of the glowing, blinking light. Plus, in our town, the airport actually has a searchlight. So that'd be another way that you could suss out where the airport is. Rough start to the adventures, man. We had that absolutely horrific maiden flight, and then we had a very solid second flight. Ooh, then we had an emergency crash landing. I had to declare a full-on mayday. Mayday, mayday. Make sure to join for the next flight. Vouchers will most likely not be sent out. So don't be afraid to book your flight now. It would just be so fucking spooky out here on these country roads. Take me home at night. The bitter, blustering cold, especially because of that. It's like, yo, if you don't get home, you're gonna fucking die. Even if it is just a little below freezing, I would not be able to make it for an extended, like, 12 hours out here, you know? Speaking of, let's do a time check. Time is now 1:08. It's almost 1:10. In 20 more minutes, it will have been an entire hour since our crash landing. Theoretically, let's say. How long at 32 degrees until frostbite? Oh no! With wind chill, there is a risk. The temperature is 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below. It takes about 30 minutes for exposed skin to get frostbite. Again, 26 degrees. It has been almost 40 minutes now. We're gonna have to face the facts of reality, and that is that we might be looking at a frostbite situation. Come on, come on, get to town, get to town, get to town. It's looking like we're coming to town on the... Sorry, I'm trying to orient myself here. Flip it over. I'm coming into town on the weird side, on the south side, I think. Cause I'm cold as ice. Gonna have to sacrifice both of my arms. Let's hurry up, man. I'm really hoping we're entering on the side of town I am hoping we're entering on, but I believe we're going to be entering on the complete opposite side of the town from that specific previously specified side. The side that I was hoping to enter upon actually has the hospital located right there. And if we just ran into the hospital, we might be fine. Originally, the plan was to run to the police station, but at this point, it might be to run to the hospital. The original plan was a run to the airfield. Go ahead and turn off the cheat pylons again. Even though it sucks, I'll go ahead and hard unbind those. In return, I can rebind L3 as something a lot more useful, you know. That way we don't have to worry about cheating. We can just go ahead and suck it up and play realism. Y'all are gonna have to vouch for me. You didn't see me drinking nothing, right? Y'all didn't see me smoking on that flight. You didn't smell nothing, right? That's what you gotta say. You gotta say you didn't, cause you know. Lord help me, you know. If it was anyone but me flying that plane, y'all would have been dead, right? You know that, right? You gotta do the right thing with what the Lord would want. I'm literally Denzel Washington up in flight up in here. King Kong ain't got nothing upon me. That's why Snoot Airline cannot issue out coupons, right? I'm telling you. It's not in our business model. We just can't afford it right now. It doesn't really know what these things are. In real life, I think these are pig buildings that pigs live inside, because there's a lot of farmers around here who farm pigs. But it makes them into these weird industrial looking apartment buildings. I just don't know if that's accurate to what's in this area. And as such, when you're at ground level, it makes it very tough to suss out. Fortunate, again, that we do have cheats to tell us Washington is this way, because in real life, the absolute terrifying, crushing fear of, am I going the right way, would be nagging at me the entire time. As soon as I found any semblance of human life, I would desperately cling to that in an attempt to use that to contact the police. Which, again, we've ran into so many cars at this point. We've ran into so many houses. The thought that one of them would not answer just almost doesn't exist, the way things are in this area. Again, here at this house, I would run up, I would knock on the doors, I would knock on them, I would be like, please help me, please. The farmers are kind. I mean, they might be scared, but they wouldn't just like blast you immediately. And overall, they'd want to help, because that's what they do. Especially if, you know, it's easy to think like Iowa's full of a bunch of dumb fuck hillbillies, but like, they'd see someone in like a pilot outfit, and, you know, they're smart enough to put two and two together. They would probably immediately be like, holy shit, did you crash your plane? Especially if you led off with, I just crashed my plane in this field. You know, they would understand very fast. The biggest fear I'd have out here is dogs. A lot of these farmers just have dogs, and they don't have them on chains or anything, because they're good dogs. They're trained to just stay in the yard. But like, not if you go waltzing by their house at 2 a.m. in the morning. They'll come attack you. They'll come bark at you and scare you away. That's a scary reality. 2 miles here from Washington, Iowa. At this point, we'd be able to see the lights. And let's take a peek at the lights to see what side of town we're entering on. Please, you gotta help me, brother. Please, 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 please. Walmart and Washington Municipal over there to the left. I wish I could look on the EFB and see where I am. Recenter on aircraft. I know where my aircraft is. I know where it is relative to the... Sorry, we just been jogging for the past, it's cold out here. We've been jogging for the past like 30 minutes. Starting to get a little exhausted. The temperature is also starting to drop. 25 degrees. The time is now 1:20. 50 minutes since our plane crash. 50 minutes from the wreck. If it was a question of if we were dealing with frostbite within 30 minutes, the question is most likely going to be answered within the hour. 25 degree temperatures. Can we stay warm by running to make it to town in time to save our fingers? That's the question. And of course, we're worried about the viewer as well, we told them to stay at the airplane, and we're hoping they're staying inside the airplane. Whether or not you personally, as the viewer, would have stayed in that airplane, only you will know. But at this point, you would have been waiting in that airplane for 50 minutes. The temperature would have been 26 degrees outside. The location is very closely marked on GPS, so we're not worried about finding it. It's just a matter of how fast we can get emergency services there. And at this point, again, I really do think the cops would have already been contacted, and I'm sure in real life from those first cars, even if we didn't make contact and talk to them, they would have called the cops most likely from seeing us try to contact them, at which point the cops would have arrived in the area. Even more likely, if any of them had seen the airplane go down and reported like, hey, plane crash, that would have been a huge deal for our local area. They would have mobilized a lot of people for that, I feel. 1.5 miles to go. Let's see if we can make it within the next 10 minutes. My freaking goodness. This might just be Ainsworth Road. This is a rather busy road. And at 1:21 in the morning, it might not be the most busy road. But what that is in front of us, my friend, is a Walmart. Oh man, unfortunately, this isn't the greatest side of town to come in on either. So that Walmart would actually be closed, but the reality is you could walk inside as there are workers there. I would definitely walk inside of this upcoming Walmart. However, you know, we're gonna go ahead and continue. This is like a farmhouse in real life. Yep, this is the direction that you enter Washington upon. And this is the mighty Walmart that feeds our entire town. All hail the Walton family. That is where I would seek my refuge. We're gonna go ahead and call the time stamp on that one. At least for me getting frostbite, you know. I think it's fair to say that we did get a little bit of frostbite and some damage. Maybe she did suffer a little bit. Not bad enough that we're gonna have to cut off any of our fingies, but maybe bad enough that we got some tissue damage. Yep, let's go. This is for sure. This is the Walmart. Brother, please. Please, please. This car would actually be going quite fast, and it wouldn't be that feasible to hail him down. It might. We could try. They'd be going like 60 or so. Especially at night. There's a stoplight down here, and it would be turned off. Hey, Walmart workers, help! Please help me! Please, I'm freezing, I'm gonna fucking die! Help! Hey, we actually have a friend out here. Oh, okay, it's a different field. Murphy Field. That's embarrassing. I was like, hey, look at this. Washington is in the game. I wonder what he's flying. So yeah, even though this looks like an old abandoned lot, this is in Washington, Iowa. This is the Walmart. Burp. This is a farm right here. Another farm. We actually have some buildings here. There's one getting built right here currently. They sell farm equipment. So it's a very farm-focused economy. This building right here that it thinks is like a factory looking. This is a Hills Bank. This over here is the Dollar Tree. And on the other side of this, there's gonna be another one. This is the Pizza Ranch. The Pizza Ranch. And it's of course 1:25 in the morning, so none of these would be open, and they would not have people in them, so I wouldn't be able to find help here. It's very likely I would be able to find help at the Walmart. Gonna go, keep going. At this point, it wouldn't be that hard to keep going. I'm in familiar territory now. Whew. Take a mental note at this point in the video, because I might do a snoot tours, and show you what this route looks like. The first recovery route. It would actually be quickest for us to run from here back to the airport, which we could do by taking a left on one of the upcoming roads, the airport road. which will take us out to Washington Municipal. However, I'm just going to stay in town. I'm going to the cops. I'm going to the police. We need to get, like, the ambulance out there. We need to get... So first off, we have police curfews who run around the town, and they wrangle up anybody who might be a threat in the night. So these police, roving gangs of police would most likely find us. They're not, I'm just being facetious. It's like 2 or 3 cops. We got 2 or 3 cops who patrol the town, and they patrol the main road. So it's likely, if I could see them, this is a very long main road, and you can see very far down it. If one of these cars was a car, it's likely at this time of night it is to be a cop, and if he sees me, he would also help me. So this right here is a house, and in real life, this house has actually been torn down and removed. Right here, we have a warehouse built now, where they sold fireworks. They sold fireworks, and they tore this house down. I actually used to walk, so it's very reminiscing on this walk right here. They used to have no sidewalk here, so you'd have to walk in the street, much like I'm doing now, if you wanted to get to that Walmart. Here on the left, it's funny that it's about the size of the Walmart. This is an Ace Hardware. There's a field right here, big old massive field. And there's a car dealership right here. Please, brother, please. Oh, he phased out of reality. Alright, I see how it's gonna be. In real life, this is a lot right here. It sure is a lot, isn't it? They sell farm equipment. It's called TVR or something like that. I believe they also have like a car dealership here as well. It's like a dealership, a car dealership, and like a farm equipment. Here, this is a... It's funny that they made it a like a housing complex. This is a Casey's gas station. It's a rather large gas station. And over here, it has space for trucks. Yeah, and this is where the car dealership is. That's where the farm dealership is. Farm stuff, car stuff. So, yeah, here's the Casey's. Please, please, I'm freezing to death. Here is the National Guard armory that we have in town. They don't really keep much there. Here is a, it's a little bar. It's called Lebowski's Rockin' Bull. Lebowski's. That's Casey's. This is the National Guard Armory. Next to the National Guard Armory is a church. So that right there must be the church, and indeed it is. It is the church. This is Lebowski's right here. Lebowski's Rock and Bowl. It's a restaurant and a bowling alley. Right here you have the old, it was like a dance studio. I don't know if it still is. Might be a restaurant or something now. I think this one actually is a person's house. So yeah, again, there's the church. This may have been a random building, but that definitely is what the church looks like. Here is a tire shop. This is a tire shop and a mechanic's shop. They sell like Goodyear shit. Goodyear shit. So there's the church. I think this really might just be a human's home, a man's home. This is where a man lives. Right here, this is like a physical therapy, jet physical therapy thing's called. It used to be a Dollar General. This one might be a human's house, just a man's house. Just a dude lives here, a dude living here. This guy sells lawnmowers, I think. He has a bunch of lawnmowers out. It's just a man's house. This is the BP gas station. It's fitting that they got the gas station here, but they didn't recognize Casey's, the much larger gas station over there. This is the little tiny gas station, the BP. They got the church here, it looks like. Does that mean this must be like the retirement home then? Our goal is to head this way because we will hit the cop shop eventually. Indeed this is. It's the old retirement community right here, the UP home coming on up. Pretty sure this is like a what do you call it? You wash cars here. It's a car wash. Yeah, pretty sure that's what you do here. Then there's a veterinarian's house as well. One of these is like a vet and a car wash, I think. These are just people's houses over here on the left. This is like back to the people live here district. So these are just a bunch of people's houses too. There's people live here. People live here. There's like an old folks home community over here to the left. This is right here the UP home. This is a church. And this next upcoming road is one of the main roads in and out of town, here on the right. It is now 1:35, an hour and 5 minutes since the plane crash. The temperature is 25 degrees. So here is somewhere you could go. You could just go in and warm up. So at this point, we definitely would go in. We'd enter. You can enter here 24 hours a day. So from here, it's going to be another couple of streets down. Because these are just residential neighborhoods. These people who live here right next to the UP home, they always go all out and they really decorate their house really good. Their house is a lot nicer than it appears here at ground level. It's like an old style house with like a huge massive porch. It's got pillars. And yeah, they always go all out for Halloween and Christmas. It's really nice to see their decorations. We also have this house on the corner is a really nice old style cottage built out of bricks. So it's a beautiful house. here to the main center of town, which you can see is marked about half a nautical mile away. It really is not much except for residential. This is the main road in and out of town. Couple more blocks and we're gonna hit the shopping district, which is our goal because that's where the local police shop is. Again, I hope you're staying warm. I hope y'all are staying warm. It's now been roughly 1 hour and 7 minutes. This right here is the historical Conger house. So they really did it dirty. But this has like a well. And it's like a big fancy house. It was made, it has a crazy story. The guy who made it was terrified of dying in a tornado. So what he did was he made this house out of cement. And he ended up, ironically and tragically, he died in a house fire in his cement house. That's that Conger house. There's a car wash right there. And it's signified pretty well too. It looks like you can tell. It looks like a garage or something there, but that's a car wash. We have a couple of them in our town. We should be approaching the school here on our left. Up here on the right, if you can see, this is where our shopping district begins. So, the end of our video is finally in sight. An end to your troubles out there in that freezing cold airplane in that field is in sight. Me, if I was riding passenger, I would be okay because I always carry a blankie everywhere I go, just to stay warm and cozy. I be on my snuggly, comfy grind like that, you know? That's just how I roll. I'm hard like that. I carry soft shit with me, because that's how hard I am. Way of the warrior. Call that shit Bushido, you know? Alright. Right here, this is going to be the road. Here to the left is the school. Which means here to the right, this is Goodwill. It used to be Aldi. That right there used to be a bank. That's like a quick serve bank. Yes, sir. Alright. Goodwill. There's a quick serve bank right there. Quick serve bank, and that used to be a come and go. There's nothing there right now. That on the corner looks like the ice cream shop, and right there is the church in the background. Here are houses. But what's most important is our city hall coming up on the left. This is where the police are. This is where we'd be able to get some help. Right here, here it is. This is the police. This is where all the police like to sit, and this is police hall. We would go here. We would flag down a cop sitting in his walkway, or we would have to go in, heaven forbid. And we would be saved. We would be given warmth. And he would go and save our viewers. That's where today ends. Today's stream is going to end at the Washington, Iowa City Hall, the cop shop. How fitting that it's a graffiti-riddled warehouse. This is our cop shop right here. This is where our cops are. We also have our fire engines right here. This is a Jersey Mike's here in the corner. This is the bank. The bank. That over there. That over there. On the corner. We got another bank right here. We got two banks. Over there on the corner. O'Reilly's. Well, yeah, let's go on up through the alleyway. I actually used to work here at this Jersey Mike's. It used to be a KFC Taco Bell. I'll show you my exact route to and from work. It had a two-way door. I never entered in this way, but you go into the door. This is where the drive-thru was. Alright, here's where the door is. So this is where our garbage was. This is like a pharmacy right here. You got your two banks. That in the corner is like a, what do you call it, gas station. And then you have O'Reilly's over there. So we're walking. This right here is a furniture store, Marshall's. This right here is an eye place. They sell eye glasses. Over here is like a restaurant. That's our town square. This is a McDonald's. It was actually recently demolished and rebuilt. Right over here, this is a person's house in the corner, but this right here is like a storage warehouse. And at one point it was used as like a travel agency. When I walked by it, it used to be a travel agency. This is the main street again up here. This is the Subway. It's split with the Family Dollar, or the Dollar General. What's across from the McDonald's? This is like a community center or something. Oh, it's a church. That's right. This is the church. These are people's houses over here. People's houses, okay. When I get McDonald's, this is the route I take. I'm gonna get to my McDonald's. This here on the corner is a man's house, but this over here, this is a gas station right here. This is Mother Hubbard's Cupboard. That's what they call it. Here, over here, that is a like a drive-through bank. Right here, this is the big old megalithic church. This is all residential. There's the alleyway in the back. This house is one of those Sears houses. So in the 50s and 60s, you could order a house from Sears, and they'd send you pretty much like a house ready to make. This is one of those Sears houses. It's cool to look at. This fella sells lawnmowers. These guys have a big old, you can see it. Very funny, very funny. These guys have hedges and stuff. Their lawn is all really overgrown, so it's so fitting that this is all overgrown, because you can see it from above. That's the approximation. these guys, these pieces of shit right here. They always be yelling at me and my family. I actually got sent to jail over them. They were yelling at me, so I cut down a tree in their front yard, and I fucking threw it on their porch, and I spazzed out. Made me very upset. They're just bad people. Why would you yell at somebody who's just walking by? Now I know where you live, and you have no clue who I am, right? That's what my thinking is. I could be a crazy guy, and now I know, like, where your children sleep. Like, what? Why would you do that? It's madness. You just gotta be nice to people, man. Anyways, this here is a car doctor. This is where you take the cars when they're sick. I like to go ahead and get up here, because if you stay walking on this road for a while, I used to live on this side over here on the left of the street. I used to live in one of these houses. If we stay walking on this street for just a block or two, we can actually go to the nearby park. I'll show you where I used to play when I was but a young boy. These are all my neighbors. They're all actually really nice people. I used to take my dog for a walk when I still had my puppy dog. And these people were always pretty courteous about it. I'd walk him around this block right here. Just a little further, we'll hit the park. This is Sunset Park right here, coming up on the right. We all just call it the Junk Park, though, and it's not going to be represented very well in this game at all, I assume. This is Sunset Park. They have a playground, they have a dog park. This is where you walk in, and there's a sign right here that says Sunset Park. This is the pavilion. There's a little tiny pavilion right here. And it's funny that it looks like a house. As you go down a little bit, there's a little merry-go-round right here. And you have two options. You can go up here and continue walking. This is where there's a little playground here, there's some swings. Or you can go on down into the park. This is where the meat and potatoes, if you will, of the park is. This right here is where the park is. For lack of a better explanation, this is where the park is in a metaphysical and pataphysical sense, if you will. Up there on the left, that house is a pavilion. This right here is, this is like a, it is a little pavilion. There's a bench with a roof over it. So this is a pavilion. This right here, this empty space is where the park is. So you enter, you come walk down here, and there's a sign right here. You go. The park is segmented into two little segments. This is the part with the swings, you can see, because it's all squared out. Here in the center is the playground. There's like a sand pit over there, and there's like a big dragon here. And then here in the corner, there's like a mighty ship, a pirate's ship. And here is something that monkey bars, and over here is the swings. There's some benches and stuff down there. Here's the bathrooms. Again, another pavilion. And it's not going to be, I really don't think it's going to be represented. But we actually have bridges here. We got like a bridge. We got a couple of them. A couple of bridges. And you can use these bridges. You can walk over these bridges. This right here is the pavilion. You can go and walk. You can't enter. It's not like a house. It's a pavilion, so This is like a flat concrete surface with a mural on it, and then you walk up to the top, and then you can go into the top up here. And this is where a lot of homeless people like to hang out. They'll walk into the top here, and when they hang out at the top of the pavilion, and they look out and they do their crack. Over here to the right, this is where the swim pool and the skate park and the basketball court are. So this is actually pretty badass. These are two people's houses. There's two houses over here, and there's like a cabin, and there's a couple houses over there. People actually live in this park. I think that would be awesome to live in a park. So this right here, this is the skate park. This right here is the swim pool. Hey, brother. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, crazy kids driving through the park, turning their lights off, trying to run me over. I'm calling the cops. This is the skate park. This is the basketball court. This is the swim pool. The swim pool's right behind it. Back down there is a whole nother park. That's where the dog park is. And throughout this entire park, there's, what do you call it? Frisbee golf. So that right there is a Casey's gas station. Gas station. Oh, he's coming back for revenge. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, please, no! He's trying to run us down, man. I'm gonna call the cops on that crazy mofo. In real life, this is very steep right here. It'd be difficult to run up. We need to get away from crazy over there. This is a dog shelter behind the Casey's. So yeah, we have Casey's here. This is a dog shelter. This is wine and spirits. The liquor store. This is a prescription pharmacy. Here on the other side of the road, we have a mechanic shop. And like, what is this? It's a Mexican food store. It's a Mexican restaurante. The DNR's office is over here. This right here is Unc and Neff's. Unc and Neff. Like uncle and nephew. I used to wonder what the fuck Unc and F's was, but this is a bar. This right here is a Pizza Hut. You're looking for a good time? That's what this is. It's a Pizza Hut right here. Yeah, I know you recognize that shit. Pizza Hut and a Wingstop? Fuck yes. This right here, they sell appliances. Over here, this is the dentist's office. I go to this dentist. This is a... You wash your car here, and in the back, that's a Hy-Vee. That's a grocery store. Here's a bank, and here is a gas station. This is like a head shop. They sell like kratom and like bongs and shit here. They're open 24/7. These houses right here. This used to be like a flea market, like a junk market. These are actually storage containers in real life. So they look like houses here, but they're actually it's a small storage facility. And there's an old gas station right here. That thing where the fuel is, there's actually one here too. So I don't know why it's not. But this is an old ass gas station. It don't run no mo. But the people who own it, they still use it. Here on the right, do we have O'Reilly's? Well, this is the other one. I can't. AutoZone. AutoZone, that's what it is. This is an AutoZone. Out there on the right, we have that Hy-Vee. That's where our National Guard buildings are. And here is our fairgrounds. There's like a farmer who lives out here. And here on the right is the trailer park. That's pretty much where we're gonna end it. Canonically, again, it's 1:56 now, but we called it at 1:33. So 1 hour and 3 minutes in the 26-degree cold is the damage that we faced. Here is our attire. So the truth is, we very well may be dealing with light frostbite on our fingers, maybe some damage to the arms and the nose and the lips. The viewer, I suspect the viewer would have been okay in that airplane. There should have been enough heat residually. The clothes that you're wearing I would have said currently, but who's to say what you're wearing currently is what you'd wear for a flight, right? The clothes you would canonically wear for a flight are what you would be wearing. So whatever those clothes are, would you have been able to survive in that airplane for 1 hour and 3 minutes? Would you have survived without damage in that airplane? I like to think you would have. I like to think you would have. We made it safe to fly another day. What a wild landing. Again, it's literally an hour since flying, but how was that for a first emergency landing? Easy to panic when the time comes down, and the truth of it is, I did panic, and I did not know recovery protocol. A lot of studying for me still needs to be done. That's the truth. But we all made it safe, which means there will be another stream. So, join us tomorrow. The local time is 2 a.m. 0200. Which means in Zulu time that is 0800 currently. I'm going to be attempting to fly most likely at about 6 p.m. today. I'm too stupid to do the math and to convert that, but it's 2 a.m. right now and I'm going to be streaming at 6 p.m. So if you want to join, feel free to join in that differential of time in your time zone. Thanks for watching, y'all. This is a snoot out with a crash landing, but again, we're living to fly another day. Cheers, y'all. Like and subscribe.